This podcast is brought to you by LMU Munich.
I hope we are not feeling too sleepy afterwards because we had coffee to compensate it. But anyway, now we will wake you up because the most awesome companies around are giving a short presentations about themselves. It will be in the lightning talk format, so around 5 minutes, something like that. And these are the companies that proved their Python support. And we are proud to start with Scooby. Please welcome Karen.
Hi, welcome and thank you for being here. I'm Karen. I'm HR and Office Manager at Scooby. What's Scooby? Scooby is an ebook subscription service. We are present in Germany, Austria, Switzerland, and in Spain. Currently with more than 175,000 ebooks, not just in German, but also in English, Spanish, French, and other languages. And actually, every week comes more than 100 ebooks in the app. You can download the app for iOS and Android. I'm not allowed to tell you how many customers do we have, but if you check how many downloads do we have in the App Store, maybe you can guess by yourself. Let's talk about the company. Scooby was founded in 2010. The app was launched in 2012, so 2 years of hard development to get the best app for reading. Behind Scooby is the Holtzbrinck Group and Bertelsmann, which are our shareholder and two of the most important and biggest publishers in Germany, but also well known around the world. We are a pretty international team. I come from Venezuela, for example. Currently 70 people. We have a big office, very nice, in the center of Munich next to Gärtnerplatz. And apart from the normal benefits that you get in Germany as worker, we also offer for our team members home office days, several team events during the year. Like for example, last week we were in the escape room and doing also a bike tour through the city. And for international applicants, we also help with the visa application process, with relocation assistance, German classes, and more. Maybe you want to get some insights about our development team. So currently are 70 people in the development team, a CTO who is taking care and coordinating the team, 2 mobile developers for our app for iOS and Android, 3 backend positions and 1 frontend position. And of course, that's the reason why we are here, because our main programming language is Python. If you are wondering which are the focus topics now in the company, will be probably machine learning, recommendations, and personalization in order to improve the long life and the experience of our customers. So currently, we are looking for a backend developer. So if you are interested, or maybe you are now studying and you're also looking for some kind of studying job, just feel free to send your application to recruiting@scooby.de. And if you have any other question, I will be here the weekend. You can come to our booth, and I will like to answer your questions. And yeah, so I think that's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Karen. We are very pleased to have you. The next presenter will be Mike Müller from the Python Software Verband. This is the association that helps to Python events and any Python activities in Germany. He will tell more details about that. What I can just add in the beginning anyway is that they are our main supporters this year, so we are very happy and pleased to have them here. So let's welcome Mike.
Thank you very much. The slides are in German, but I will speak in English. So it's about Python Software Verband, which roughly translates to Python Software Foundation. And we serve the German-speaking Python community, hence the slides in German. Who are we? So we try to represent the German-speaking Python community, and we are legally organized as a foundation. EV stands for Eingetragener Verein, which is a legal kind of a company form in Germany. So we have a board, a Vorstand, which is a board. We are 8 people now, and 6 of them, no, we are not here. The slides are not very up to date. They're not here. But some of them, I happen to be the chair of the board. Okay, what do we do? So we support the German-speaking Python community, and this includes a few different activities. So we have this, the PySV means, it's an acronym for Python Software Verband. We have a website, and the website aggregates a lot of information. We support user groups, so we list all the different user groups. We support user groups organizationally, so we help them to organize their meetings. So we go, for instance, now we pay, if you want to do a meetup and you need some financial support to pay meetup fees and something like this, we reimburse those fees and other things like this. We support events. So the main organizer of PyCon.de, so last year in October, PyCon.de was here. Anton organized, and we were co-organizers of this PyCon.de. We organized PyCon.de this year in Karlsruhe, which will be the 25th to the 27th of October. We've been the organizer of EuroPython 2014. We're also the organizer of EuroSciPy, which is a SciPy conference. So last year in August, and this year, end of August, in Erlangen. So we have a lot of conferences. Then we have smaller events, what's called the Python Camp in Cologne, which is like some kind of an unconference, very interesting format. Now we're at number 7 or 8 already this year. The Python Unconference in Hamburg, which happens 3 times. And we also support of PyCon Web. So we help a lot of these things. We support sprints. So if you have an open source project and you want to do some sprints, we help. For instance, we pay travel costs. If you have a very important developer that needs to travel somewhere and the company doesn't pay, then we typically pay travel costs or other expenses you need to have to make a sprint happen. We also support the World Clone Day. We also do public relations, so we have booth at like Linux Talk, Linux Fest, other events like outside we have a booth. If you want to talk to me longer, you can come to our booth. We have press releases and a few other public relation activities. So we help the community. So we have a few things in place to help you in the organizational level. So we have our legal entity, like if you have to do something where there would be some liability involved, some money involved, you need some legal entity in one way or the other, then typically the Python Software Verband can help you. We have some financial resources. Of course, they're not unlimited, but we can help people sometimes if you want to invite somebody for a conference, a keynote speaker or something like this, for sprints and other activities, so we typically reimburse those costs. We have some technical support. We have a Jira. We have an open source license for Jira, so if you want to organize a project, you can get a Jira project. It can be really helpful. You can get an email list and other resources. We have some virtual machines running, so if you need to have something run on the web for some reason and it serves the Python community, then we can help you there. Then we have working groups for different types of things. So if you want to get involved, so PyCon.de, it's a big thing. Public relations, networking with other institutions, to work together with other communities, our website, PyMove3D, which is a programming competition for teenagers, which is very interesting. So this was Blender and Python. The Blender is a 3D software. And they had some very good projects coming out of there, some very smart teenagers writing very interesting programs. Okay, so as I mentioned, we have this Jira and other tools that can help you. We have a monthly meeting, which is a board meeting, but it's open on IRC, so if you're interested, you can even come to the meeting. It's open for everybody, and the advantage is since a lot of board members are there, we can make decisions right away. So if you have a project and you say, okay, that's my project, you can describe the project, and we can make a decision if we support the project or not. This is very fast. So the board only has to make sure that this project is according with the goals of our foundation. That the goal is to promote Python, open source, and especially Python. That's the formulation in the German-speaking area. So it would be Germany, Austria, Switzerland, pretty much. So we have members from all of them. Okay, You can also become member, so if you would like to look for a way to support the Python community, you become a member. We have different levels of membership. You can become a personal member, so if you're a student or retired, your fee is halved, you can become a personal member, freelance members, and also companies. So if a company would like to support the Python community in the German-speaking area, you can become a member. And then also you have better access to the members. Most of the members are long-term active people in the Python community. So if you would like to contribute to Python in one way or the other, talk to me. We try to organize things, and we're very open for projects. If you have an idea for a project and you would like to get it make it happen, then just talk to us. I have some of these membership forms out there. Just come and talk to me, and I think that's it. This is the URL and our Twitter handle, so please come talk to me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mike. Yeah, it's always great to have some organizations that you can always count on that are just doing what they're supposed to do, support Python. And the next presenter from the Social Sweethearts, let's try your laptop first.
All right. And the microphone? I can hold this one out. Yeah, we have the internet and the laptop and the mobile. All right. It's just HDMI, I think. HDMI? This is HDMI, right? No, it's a smaller one. HDMI?
HDMI?
I have an adapter, but it's downstairs. I can bring it quickly. Should I? Okay.
Yeah,
Then
maybe.
Okay. Yes. Then maybe you start now. I get the adapter.
Okay, it's fine. Yeah. Then you have to.
What do you have?
You see where it is?
This will work. Yes.
Okay, I'm just fetching an adapter which somehow got lost, and we'll start with Trust You. Stefan will introduce us the company, and I'll be fast. Come on.
I don't see my cursor. That was close. So I'm actually going to need audio as well. Pushing it to the limit today. Let's see if that works. Works. Hi everyone, I'm Stefan. I'm the CTO at a company called Trust You. I'm here today with my colleague Franziska and 3 other coders. And once I see my cursor and full screen the freaking thing, I'm actually going to start with a little video.
Bună, sunt Radu din România și lucrez ca User Interface Designer la Trust You.
Hi, I'm Mo and I'm from Canada.
Merhaba, ben Müge. Türkiye'den geliyorum. Semantik analiz takımında çalışıyorum.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Roderick et je suis français.
मेरा नाम बिलाल जावेद है ते मैं पंजाब पाकिस्तान तो हूँ.
Grüß euch, ich bin Fanny und ich komme aus Bayern.
Isn't that nice? I promise those people aren't actors. So, What does Trustio actually do? The name is not very self-explanatory, so give me a minute to explain. When you write a hotel review on Booking.com or TripAdvisor, we scrape it or we collect it from an API and we analyze it and we understand what you're saying about the hotel. Did you complain about the service? Did you like the location? And then we do two things with that data. We summarize it for other guests so they're able to determine whether they like the hotel or not. And then we sell that data to companies such as Google. I'm sure you've heard of them. When you go and look for a hotel on Google, as millions of people do, you see a little summary on Google search that is provided by Trustio, by us. We're very proud of that, and we're not only on Google, but also Hotels.com, Kayak. We're kind of like the engine behind reviews in the internet. There's someone else who's also very, very interested in what you have to say, which is the hotels themselves. So we built a tool that's called Trustio Analytics. It's like Google Analytics, but it's for hotel reviews. We sell this to hotels, and when you complain or write something nice, they get an alert, and they get a summary, and they know how they do. And this is used by more than 10,000 hotels in the world. If you've ever stayed at an Ibis, a Novotel, a Motel One, they use this software, and that spam email you get after your stay asking you for a review, that's from us too, sorry. We're 120 people worldwide, 30 engineers, and we're looking for awesome engineers to join us who are Python lovers. Trustio is completely written in Python except for the parts that you need to do in JavaScript. Then we need to do JavaScript. And we're looking for passionate learners. We have I'm sure you all remember the 20% rule at Google, where they could use 20% of their time for whatever. It doesn't exist anymore, but we have a 5% rule. We start small. 2 hours every week you can use for private projects, for learning, for taking online classes. We have a budget for that, under the condition that you then come back to the team and tell them what you've learned, so that everyone benefits. We have a pretty diverse tech stack, so we actually offer jobs in 2 tracks, is what we call it. We do web development, so our developers are full stack. Obviously, some people focus more on Python, some people focus more on JavaScript. We use asynchronous technologies. We use Twisted and Tornado, big fans of those, and build beautiful data visualizations for the hotels to know what their guests are saying. But also, as you can imagine, a lot of magic is required to figure out from a hotel review what people are actually saying. So we have a team of data scientists that know machine learning, NLP, and big data technologies. Every week we find 4 million new hotel reviews, and that's text, that's expensive to process. So we use Spark and Hadoop. Those are the 2 tracks available. Find us on the internet if you want to join. This is just the development team. The whole company is a bit bigger, and if I still have a minute, I'm going to close with yet another video. And that red-haired girl that you see crawling around, that's her actually.
Most important things for me is being part of an ambitious team.
It's a young group where we have lots of fun, but we also work hard.
I like that my work has an impact on the success of the company.
I think the most important is the challenging work that you can implement your skills and practice.
I like facing new challenges every day.
Enjoyed this very spontaneous, totally unscripted video. Thank you for your attention.
Okay.
Thank you. It was a very emotional one, I would say, thanks to the video.
Some tears.
Yeah, some. I have to keep strong. Okay, now finally, Matthias from Social Sweethearts.
Finally.
I hope we can hack this.
Hopefully it works now, yeah?
Yep.
Let's see. Do you have any idea? Sorry?
What is your presentation? Oh, it works now. Yes.
Perfect. Okay.
All right, yeah.
So,
please.
Can I go ahead?
Sure.
All right. So good afternoon. My name is Matthias. I'm CTO from Social Sweethearts. And in the next couple of minutes, I'd like to explain you what we do and how we do it. Let's see if the slides work. Okay. So Social Sweethearts is basically an online publisher with a very big tech background. So we have multiple websites, like brands, where we can show different kinds of content. And the content could be, for example, a blog post, a personality quiz, or maybe even a, I don't know, all kinds of contents, basically. It can be anything. And so there are lots of users, and all these users, they have different kind of interests. And what we try to do is to match the user with the content. So we want to find out which content actually matches to that user. And that's what we do quite well, in my opinion, because just to tell you some statistics about our websites. So we have about 300 million registered users. We have about, during peak times, we have about 400,000 people online, and you can see a screenshot here in Google Analytics. So it's quite a challenge to manage so many users at the same time, and it's very fun to make these things happen. We have about 100 million Facebook fans and about 3 billion page views a month over all the different projects we have. And yeah, we are multilingual. That means we translate our content in 44 languages. So how do we do it? Our approach is basically split in two different things. We have one thing called measure everything, and the other approach is automate everything. And what we mean by that is, for example, measure everything is that we basically have KPIs for everything we do. Like every single click of the user, everything that happens on our page is measured. And that could be A/B testing, for example, but also very detailed things. Like, for example, if a user clicks on the share button to share this content with their friends, or if some user on Facebook gets back from that share story to our page. So we try to measure everything in order to find out what content for what user group is relevant at the moment. And the other approach, automate everything, is that we basically try to have as little as possible human interaction in whatever we do, actually. So we have different kinds of services, like microservices. This could be, for example, a translation service. It could be a virality service, A/B testing service, and many more modules. They're completely separate, and they work together over rules that we can define. So to give you an example, there could be a blog post in English that works really well for women between the age of 20 and 30. And then we measure this, we can see this, we have systems that can tell us, okay, this blog post right now works really well for women between 20 and 30. And then we have this translation module, we send this content to the translation module, this module sends the content to the translation agency, they translate it automatically, and we get the same content that was successful in English, we get it in multiple different languages. So we can scale very fast, because everything is automated, almost everything. One thing which is still not automated is the content creation. So we still have we have a separate content team. They create the content, but the long-time goal is actually to automate everything, to even have the content creation automated. So this is our tech stack, basically. It's pretty standard, I think. So we have Nginx, we use UWSGI, running Python Django. So the content creators, they create the content directly in Django, in the Django admin backend. I'm sure many of you know how that looks like. We have Redis, we use MySQL. So pretty normal setup, I think. One special thing might be that we use a lot of on-premise servers. We don't do too much in the cloud. because it works well for us and it's cheap too. Yeah. So how do we work? We have multiple Scrum teams that iterate in 2-week sprints. We have our code in GitHub, and as I said before, we have lots of microservices. Like everything we do in our company is in a separate microservice that does one specific thing. So we try to keep the code base small, so we don't get any spaghetti code or similar things. Yeah, I think that's it. And if you have more questions about us, we have a booth just outside there. And yeah, just come to us if you have questions or if you want to work with us, maybe.
Thank you, Matthias. Thank you. So yeah, I think that was the last presentation for today. We have more sponsors, but you see them on the logos anyway, so you can just walk to their booth of JetBrains and talk to them. But you should really come to these 4 booths that we had just saw the presentation from.
Definitely.
Don't be shy. We are all here Python fans, and we have a lot of things to talk about, not just about hiring and jobs. We can just exchange experiences, and then, you know, the future is unpredictable. You can end up working with one of those awesome companies. Okay, thank you guys. The session is over. Let's enjoy the rest of the conference.